Hello and welcome to week 1 of the 12-week Metabolism Reset. Over the next 12 weeks, you will develop an eating strategy that will change your life for the better on pretty much every level. Bold statement, I know. And I am confident as can be making it. Add to that the workout protocols you'll learn and you will look and feel better than you have in a while, maybe even a long while, because now is now. And as of now, we will effectively leave the past where it belongs and start anew together. I've had the pleasure of helping hundreds of people with the beta program that led to this all-inclusive program. And I started that version in mid-2016. And of those, the ones who have fully engaged in the process and held true to their changes have had incredible long-term results. See, there is no reason why you will not be amongst those who succeed. Now, the only thing stopping you will be a lack of commitment on your part. I'm here to help you at every step along the way, but I cannot want it more than you do. So I'm going to challenge your current way of thinking, and you'll need to be willing to challenge your own way of thinking. So you've been taught many incorrect things when it comes to how to feed your body. Now, much of that education has been at the hands of those who did not have your best interests in mind, only their ledger sheets. In time, that veil of deception will be lifted, and you will be able to read through their junk science, disguised as science. But until then, you'll really need to trust me, and I do not take that trust lightly. When incorporating meaningful change, it's all about establishing a firm foundation, then building upon that a solid structure. See, the foundation is your routine, your schedule. The structure is your strategy for following your schedule and sticking to your commitment, even when it's not convenient. Now, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of planning your week. I recommend you do this on Sunday. Get out your upcoming week's calendar to note travel, meetings, kids' sports, etc. Schedule in your life, then work your eating around it. We're going to plan your meals out every Friday or Saturday, depending on your schedule, ideally a Friday, and I will go through and lay it out exactly step by step for you, give you some suggestions and alternatives to those, depending what your life is like. All right, so let's get rolling. All right, every week you will receive an email like you did this week. It will contain within it a couple documents. One is going to be your weekly overview and your weekly to-do. This I call your actions planned and actions taken, because you're going to plan out the actions you're going to be anticipating for the week, put them on the days that works for you according to the strategy. And then on the following Sunday, you're going to send me what actions were taken. This will become very crystal clear after a week or two of doing this. The key is for you to step out of that comfort zone, because believe it or not, even if you're uncomfortable right now, you're in your comfort zone. You are doing what you are comfortable doing. And that may sound a little counterintuitive, but it's exactly the truth. We don't usually stretch ourselves unless we have a reason. Okay, so allow me to guide you in the stretching of yourself so that you can have a better, healthier future. All right, let's dive on in. So now you can have these next to you and look at them as I'm going along so you can see them maybe a little bigger. But please don't be filling out anything right now. Just take a moment, watch this whole video with me. Feel free to follow along just so you make sure you understand what the pages are. But after we're done, then go into the planning mode, okay? All right, so you're going to print out 3 documents that you had attached. One of them is the weekly actions planned and actions taken. Another one will be RMT, which is restorative motion training designed by moi. And you will have that, and we'll get into the details in a moment. You're going to have a list of meals. You are going to be focusing on phase 1, which I will go through with you in just a moment. And this is how we plan ahead for that. All right, so starting here, our weekly focus is, we've got multiple things that are going on sequentially, but I want you to, again, plan your week, look at this, look at the week ahead, and start pre-framing yourself, getting into that mindset, okay? All right, so the key first is going to be working on completing that habit exercise that I sent you previously. So you'll see that habits workbook in the welcome email. Please, just a reminder, if you have not already, send me part 3's exercise and the Wheel of Life. Remember on that Wheel of Life to please also email me soon thereafter and just say, hey, be on the lookout for my wheel of life. I sent it at such and such time. I'm bringing on multiple clients every day, so I want to make sure that I tag you that correct wheel of life because they're anonymous online, which I like. All right, now record your morning weight, which I've gone through with you in the measurements details. So you're going to do that, and where you put that up is right here. So you'll see that every single day after you've weighed yourself, you just place that right on that little line. Okay, so I'm going to click back. I'll be clicking back and forth. All right, so the J column, that's your daily journaling that you've already started. That's addressing that what I really, really, really want in life subject. Okay, and I want you to write in a paper journal. Remember, it's the action of writing that really dials in with our brain. Okay, so a minimum, please, of 5 minutes. Even if you just sit there and stare at that paper and say, Dr. Sam is making me do this, she is mean. I don't care. I will be the meanie. I promise you in time, this habit is going to absolutely change your life. 100%. All right, so minimum of 5, max of 15. And I have a reason for that. I want you to just be able to sit there, write all you've got, dump it all out, boom, boom, boom on the paper, and then let it marinate. So after that 15 minutes, boom, step away. If you ever watch Chopped, you gotta, clap your hands and walk away from it, all right? So that's your goal, 5 to 15 minutes a day for the first 4 weeks. And yes, I know, that seems like a lot of time, but I guarantee you, that is how we change. That is how we make this change. And you'll transition to weekly in week 5, and I'll remind you of that. Alrighty, so let me just show you what that looks like here. So under our journal, you're gonna circle whether you did it in the AM or the PM. You can slash it or circle it, whatever you prefer. All right, moving on to exercise. So I have a protocol here. When do I not have a protocol? Yes. All right, so I'm sending you this. It's a long document, but it has the description of each of the exercises. Well, my daughters and I are working on a video this weekend to send to you. This should be fun. All right, so just go ahead and after we're done with this video, I want you to go through and read this. It details out everything that I'm looking for you to accomplish. All right, let me just get to this part. This is the schedule. So the first 2 weeks, we're doing 2 days of aerobic, and everything is outlined for you here, aerobic. What I want is different endurance levels. I explain to you what that means, and I want you to do them in different time periods. So you'll do 2 minutes of the endurance exercise, ideally at, let's say 5 to 7 out of 10 in your effort. Nice, easy word there. But I lay it all out in the papers here, okay? So I tell you exactly how to do this. And then you have a day of recovery, another day of aerobic, day of recovery, and I would want you to do yoga, Pilates, some sort of stretching routine. I have linked in here a yoga for beginners class. It's 30 minutes, and I really like this gal's style. Yes, she's super bendy. Yes, she's a super yoga chick. Don't, compare yourself at all, at all. I want you doing to your comfort, but stretching yourself, not only physically, but a little bit mentally, okay? And you know what pain is. Pain is bad. So there's a difference between pain, and, oh my God, my body's not done that in so long. That really is uncomfortable pain, okay? So, extrapolate that. Do not push past anything just to prove something to yourself. And God knows you don't have nothing to prove to me, okay? I love you and accept you as you are. And it doesn't matter where you are in your life, what your body's like right now, what you've neglected, none of that matters. You've made a huge decision to make a big change in your life, and you've recruited me. So now I'm on your team, and I don't let you go out and sit on the bench or the bleachers by yourself and, have a bad time. All right? I'm right here with you. You are exactly where you are now based on all the things you've done up to now. So now we're going to be making some changes. This is where the fun comes in. We make the changes, and yeah, sure, sometimes they're uncomfortable. In fact, a lot of times they're uncomfortable, but you have me on your team to help you through that uncomfortableness, okay? So call on me. All right. So every week, the first 2 weeks, we've got these. Now the 3rd and 4th week, we bring in the restorative motion training, which again was something that I've designed over a 25-year career. I've laid out very specific motion and exercises. Some of them are static, meaning you're not moving. You get in the position, you hold it for the allotted time. The allotted time will be 30 seconds for 2 exercises or positions, and then a 15-second rest. All of this is outlined in this document, just giving you an overview. So there are 2 routines for this 4-week session, routine 1 and routine 2. Hey, I'm very creative, I know. You'll be doing 2 sets of each of those. This page, and I will go through this a little more in the week 3 orientation. I do not want to blow your mind right now, all right? But I will go in a little more detail. I'm just pre-framing you. I'm giving you the big picture of what the next 4 weeks are going to be like. All right, so now after that, I have a description of each and every one. And like I say, you're going to have a fabulously done video, which will be made in my own home with my phone. It will not be super edited, but it will just be me, okay? So I'm going to go through and show you each of these. I'm going to show you things to look out for. But if you're like me, I like a visual, and I like to read, and I like to think about something. So I'm trying to address each of those different thinking and learning types, okay? So it goes through every detail, and I've got each of the 6 for the first routine. And then I'm just going to go just a little bit through here. So you'll see all those 6, and then each of the 6 for the routine number 2. Even weeks are when you do routine 2. I made it pretty simple. 2 is an even number, boom, okay? Odd is or 1 is an odd number, boom. So we do the odd routine on weeks 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Catch my drift? All right. I'm trying to make things as logical, not get too creative with it all. So I would love any feedback on if this seems straightforward, or if you think, there's a way I could maybe concise it up a little bit, but I feel like I've done that. But again, I'm always open to constructive criticism. I want this to be a program that leads people to total transformation. And that's the only thing I'm attached to, okay? Thank you very much in advance for any feedback. Okay, so now going back here, so on your exercise, we're doing, again, just 2 days of aerobic this week. I left it open to a little freedom in scheduling for this week and next week, because I know, you've already got things set up, but my ideal is to have you do aerobic on Tuesday and Thursday, and then do a yoga Pilates on Saturday. But you can do, if you need to bump this up to a Friday and then do your aerobic on Monday, Wednesday, the only thing I'm really attached to is to do every other day. So it'd be aerobic Tuesday, aerobic Thursday, and then yoga Saturday. Or it could be aerobic Wednesday, aerobic Friday, and then yoga Sunday, or something along those lines. But don't get too creative. Just do it, okay? 10 minutes. 10 minutes aerobic. Not a big deal as far as time. Sometimes we spend a lot of time avoiding doing the thing that, had we just done it, we would have been done by now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. The human brain, we're just quirky. Okay, and I love that. I embrace everybody's quirkiness, because, if we were all the same, how boring would that be? Okay. Exercise, check, done. So now macros, what that is short for is macronutrient. Those are the things like your carbohydrates, your fats, your protein, and alcohol. We are not going to be, there are no macros goals for alcohol. We are going to be putting that on the shelf during this program. I'll get into a little more details as we go along, okay? All right, so the macros, our main focus is keeping our carbohydrate grams to 100 grams or less per day. Let me go over that with you. So the macros, I have a online program that helps you keep track of your meals and helps you keep track of activity. And it charts these things out on a plotting graph. It's really, really helpful. So I'm going to go in and show you that now. But just keep this next to you so you'll be able to look at it when I'm talking through that program. All right, where is that bad boy? Okay, so I sent you in the email, you had some login information. That login information contained a link. When you click on this link, let me log out real quick. When you click on the link, it will give you this page. You click up in the login, and you are already in here. So you are ready to roll. I've already got you onboarded. So you're going to put your name, and remember, it's Dr. Sam Graver, or yeah, Dr. Sam Graver plus your name. Okay. So let me just do mine before I'm trying to talk about it, I'm going to get it all wrong. All right. Hey, I always feel like it's just amazing when I remember my password on the first time. Okay, so this is what it will leave you with. When you come in here, it'll be all blank. There's going to be the setup, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're going to have some basics here. I will send you a video in week 2 that goes a little more into detail. For this week, I want you just to start kind of playing around with it, planning some meals. I'll be showing you in just a moment what all that means. Okay, so this is how this is what you're going to see when you log in. Take these pages that I've got next to you here. Okay, so you're going to see your meals, and I've got those printed out. You are going to be focusing on phase 1. So these are the meals. Now, I want you to know you can sub out the protein. So if you don't like chicken, or you don't have any chicken on hand, or whatever's going on with chicken that week, you can sub out pork, equal volume, okay? So if it's, or equal weight. If the recipe calls for a pound of chicken, please use a pound of pork. There's a rule of thumb when it comes to protein, and that rule of thumb is that for every ounce of a protein, there are 7 grams approximately, some a little more, some a little less, but 7 grams of protein, okay? So we're not gonna get too in the weeds on the very, very specific to start. We're looking at the generalities. So again, you can switch that out. The only thing that'll be kind of difficult would be to switch out the egg and bacon. But you can do an egg and maybe you know, a half an ounce or whatever of a different type of pork or something like that. But let's not get too, you know, too crazy with the details here. All right, so same like with rotisserie chicken. If you want something different, by all means, go for it. So these are those. And if you don't like fish and you want to sub out shrimp or chicken, again, totally fine with me. Don't get too much into these right yet. We'll deal with those in a future video. But I do want to point out that when I did these recipes here, they're either based on a serving of 8 for a recipe or a serving of 1. Now the 1 in this group is bacon and egg, which I think makes a lot of sense. You can't really, I mean, you can't mess that up, right? Just go ahead and cook 1 and then your bacon as well that morning. If you're like me, you cook bacon ahead, and that is an awesome strategy. Over time, I will show you all about batch cooking. It is a schedule saver. Okay, so you're gonna do this, print this out, or you've already got it ideally. And then we've got our plan for the week. It's a blank calendar, get a pencil. Trust me. All right. So we're going to go in, and like I said, we're going to be planning out for the week. So the way we do that is we go in here and let's start planning out. So you've got your schedule. Let me get to those guys. Come on. All right. So taking from the list, keeping in mind that there are 8 servings in most of those meals. I don't want you thinking about too much about how many servings because you don't know the volume yet. I'll get to that in just a moment. But I want you to take these top 7 and plan your week. Now you don't have to plan every single meal for this week because again, we're just getting our feet wet. We're just getting into this. Again, please do not overcomplicate it, okay? If you want to take a couple days and plan those, that's fantastic. Plan like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That way, if you cook more of a recipe, which I would like you to do, cook the full recipe, and you can divvy up your 8 servings throughout those few days. That way you're only cooking once. It's a great strategy. So if you want to plan like that, or if you want to go all in and are willing to have a little frustration, kind of learn something new, it's like, you know, like a kid learning to ride a bike. It's not, you know, you get on that bike and you roll. It takes a little bit of getting used to, okay? You do not have to have this perfected week 1 and in any way, shape, or form. It's not one of those, if you can't do it right the first time, you're going to fail. It's none of that. We're learning, right? Okay, so you're going to take that and your meals, again, just to reiterate, you're going to section these out into the ones you want to eat over this week. Again, I'd choose just a couple days and roll with it there. So after you've planned those out, then you're going to go into the computer program and you're going to just play those in here. So let's say that we chose, let me show you. So you click on, you highlight that meal, excuse me, click add food, and you come into custom. Custom is where I've built out everything for you. The way that I have this cataloged is by phases. So you're going to go in and type phase 1, enter, and that gives you the selection of each of those 7. So whichever one you chose on here, whichever one you put in here, you're going to transfer that right over to the computer. So let's say you chose arugula salad with steak and avocado. Actually, sorry, we're on breakfast. Let me just start there. All right, so we did breakfast. We've got a bacon and egg. Awesome. And for lunch, we chose, I like the steak and arugula. Now you have to just click your phase 1 again. Now eventually you'll have this down. You'll have it, it's just going to be so smooth. Don't worry about it. Just like anything, learning a new computer program just takes a few moments, but I've tried to lay it out as specifically as I can. And then for Din Din, my favorite, let's go right in there. I absolutely love this. Okay. Now sometimes if I don't have fresh fish or, you know, I get these frozen fish, the flash frozen too. If I don't have that, I use shrimp, and it's just fantastic. Okay. So all of this here, let me just kind of orient you. We got the name of it. We are using one full recipe for the bacon and egg again, because that's just 1 egg and a strip of bacon. We're using 1 serving of the arugula salad and steak and avocado, and as well 1 serving of the fish and herbed butter with sauteed veg. This column is the money right here. That's what I'm looking for. Alrighty, so this is the amount of protein in that serving. So my goal with people is to, I've wrote this out for you. I've set up your account for you, and I based it on the protein that your lean body mass needs. So I had to do some math, okay? I did a lot of math behind the scenes. I don't teach you that stuff at this point because it is just overwhelming and ridiculous. And there's no point in it. I lay it out for you, and I want you to just stick to that. This is going to show you the amount of calories that you're taking in, as well as what's allotted for your day based on what your weight loss goals are and what your current resting metabolism rate is and what your current activity level is. So again, I did more math, got that all figured out for you. Don't overthink it right now. Do not feel like you got to understand it to be able to do it. It doesn't matter. It's a detail. I will teach you over this time together, though, I promise. And then the second protein, you're going to receive a document called the KISS list in week 2. I don't send all this stuff the first week because it will be overwhelming, and I do not want to overwhelm my people. I love my people. So I'm writing myself a note. Remember, KISS list week 2. Okay, so that will be, and what the KISS list is, it's keto is simple and sustainable. And I have 4 baseline principles. Principle number 1 is you need to meet your protein on your days that you're feasting. And then number 2 is we want to keep a level of carbs or below that. Okay, and then number 3 is we want to fill out or fuel ourselves and satiate ourselves, which is, you know, feeling like you've eaten, you're satisfied, not full, not stuffed, just satiated. That is for number 3. We do that with good healing fats. And number 4 is we look to balance our electrolytes, and I teach you all about that. But again, I do not want you getting off in these details starting right out. So this is where we're focusing right now. Okay, so when we look at this, I see that, okay, I'm 17 grams too low on my protein to start. This is the only one I'm going to worry about here. Net carbs, each and every one of these recipes I have built to be very low carb. Now they might be higher carb than the 25 in a meal, but they have a lot of fiber in them. So that decreases. That's where the net comes in. Net carbs are total carbs minus the fiber in there. Alrighty, so I'm 17 short. So I'm going to go back up here and say, is there anything that I could just double that would get me close to that? I want you to be within 10% of your protein goal every day, 10% over or 10% under. Every day it's going to shift a little bit, and that is just groovy because the body likes a little shifting. He or she is not sitting there saying, I need to have everything the exact same every day, okay? Likes a little adaptation. So I am going to add this one twice. So I'm going to do 2 servings, which I'll be super happy about because I love that meal. So it gets me much closer. Very good. Good job, Sam. I'm very happy. Now, if it turns out that when I'm eating, I'm not feeling satiated, I'm going to just make a mental note of that. And the next time I have these, either one, I'm going to add a little olive oil. I would add olive oil to my salad, and I would probably just add an extra pat of butter to my fish. And that's something I will teach you about, how to, manipulate these meals to satisfy your body as you go along. I'm going to show you some of my previous days. I'll show you that in action. But for now, let's just keep it really super simple. Alrighty, so this gives you what you need for the day. These numbers, after you've eaten this day, and you're just pre-framing and planning right now, after the day, as long as you, followed through with your plan, you're going to take this information and put that baby right there. So that's your calories, or the energy, protein grams, carb grams, fat grams, and don't give it another thought. So you can do that on Tuesdays, look back at Monday. You can do that on Sunday before you send me the information, and go back through the whole week. You do you, okay? I gotcha. And it's just be in the habit. So again, if you're going to do this on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, excellent. Plan it on your paper calendar, that blank sheet, and then take those meals over here and then do like I did. Put one of the serving or one of the recipe in, and then you can add from there. Now I could add another bacon and eggs and get even closer. Look at me, still within my range. Depends. Like, I know my body, and yes, I would need more than just one piece of bacon and egg. You're going to be increased. You're going to have a larger amount of food the first few weeks. I want you to keep in mind, I'm at 25 grams, net grams. I'm going to start you at week 1 at 100 or less. So you'll see that on your sheet here. Goal is 100 or less carbohydrates. All right, so let me just move along. So here, let me just show you a couple days of what I did. All right, so this was one of my days. I do not eat breakfast. I fast through that time. I usually am on anywhere from a 20-hour fast down to like a 16-hour. It just depends. That's what's worked for me. I've developed that over the years. Some days I fast an entire day, and I will be teaching you the principles behind that. I'll be demonstrating for you how you can kind of find your happy zone. So this was my day, and you can see here again, all my macronutrient targets are listed. Okay, and then so every day you're going to weigh yourself, like demonstrated here, and like you've ideally already been doing. You're going to weigh yourself every day, and then you're going to average those weights out on Sunday night. So Sunday, when you're going back and seeing all the things that you followed through with, and wherever you had a challenge following through with, you're going to take each of those numbers on the line and divide it by however many values you have here. That would be your average. You're going to write that in right here. And then you're going to go online into your chronometer. And let's see, so that's going to be for next week. You're going to go in here and do add biometric on that Sunday, and you put in whatever your number is there. And you can put it in the breakfast because you did that in the morning. And you just add that measurement. Boom, easy, easy. And then that's going to start tracking your weight. Let me just show you what that means. So down here, you're going to see the pattern of weight loss. And it's just a visual. In the first little bit, do not expect to have major numbers. We're priming your body to get in a healthier state so that it can start shedding the fat. Because we want to shed the fat. At first it's going to be water. There's the hydration balancing. But we want to tap into those fat molecules. Okay, so I think that's enough on this for just this first time. We'll get into more detail as we go along. Okay, so here we are coming down to water. Now water, super straightforward, like you learned in our webinar. We want to take your weight, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should drink a day. Now currently you might be drinking 3 or 4. So if let's say you're drinking 4, I want you to circle the number 5, and this is 8-ounce glasses. So if you're drinking about 32-ish ounces, then I want you to stretch and go for 40 every day this week. So you'll circle the number 5 in each of these days. And then as you go along, you don't have to do it each and every time you drink because you're probably not carrying this with you everywhere. But I want you to think back and say, all right, I had 5 or I had 6. So you're going to slash through each of the numbers that you drank. And then I'm going to be able to look at this at the end of the week and say, great, you exceeded your goal, or look, you were right on track. That's awesome. Either way, it's just feedback. Okay, the next column is of mindfulness. Now we've talked about this, that kind kind of that monkey, in our mind, which you're going to be reading about right here, how the mindfulness tames the drunken monkey. If you've not already read that, it's a good descriptor of kind of what our minds do to us. So you're going to do a 10-minute practice, and I want you to rate the session. You can do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon. I know for some of you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 10 minutes of peace? You're going to start carving it out. That's how you're going to get it. Okay, it's something for you. And if you have to have a code with your family, like just, shut the door or, whatever it is, this week is to start priming them for that too. For you to make any good, long-lasting change, you have to carve this time out. And we are usually our biggest saboteurs. We think it's other people, but it's really not. It's us allowing them if they are the weak link in the chain. Okay, so this is you standing your ground and you having your time, and you're going to think about a whole lot of nothing during that 10 minutes. And it's going to be torture at first, and I fully acknowledge that, because believe me, when I run 90 to nothing all the time, but I do this every single day. First thing in the morning, I do my 10-minute practice, and then in the evening, I kind of figure out when it's going to work best, if we have practices and whatever else going on. And then it's just my time to chill and reflect, but not really. I'm reflecting on kind of nothing. I'm just getting in tune with myself. It's not time for prayer, not really time for meditation. It's mindfulness, just becoming mindful of the moment. And you'll learn more about that as we cruise along. The way to do that, and what I mean by rate, is right through here. So in your AM, you want to do a 10-minute session, so you will have circled that. And when you do it, you slash through. Did you find it easy? Like it was just ease. I did it, the 10 minutes went by, boom. Or was it like a full-out war with your mental monkey? Was he or she like just kind of, come on, you don't have time for this. What are you thinking about? Oh, my back hurts, whatever, all the crazy stuff she's going to throw at you. Believe me, it happens. Even now, I've been doing this for years, and I still have those days, and it's just normal. It's healthy. It's the way we are. We're human. We're a little quirky. So you're going to list those out, AM or PM. All right. And then now your stress. So you're going to just rate your overall day's stress level before that evening mindfulness session. So before you go into that, just look back on your day. Where was I? Was I between a 1 and 10? Where were you? It's subjective. You just circle that letter or that number, and go from there. Now sleep. We're going to rate our time we went to sleep and what that was like, and our overall sleep, and then how we felt when we woke up. Okay, so let me go back to that. So you're going to, the same day, you'll be able to look at your up one, but kind of the next day, you've got to look at your in bed one, because you don't want to be sitting there with this by your bed, for crying out loud. But you're going to rate it the morning after. So let me just look at Tuesday just to make this a little simpler. So you're going to say, I was up at 6:30. Like for me, that's my time. That's my time that I kind of get going. So I look back and I want to give myself an hour. So up at 5:30, did I wake up? Did I feel rested? Or was I kind of like, yeah, I'm up. My eyeballs are open. It's good. Or did I feel like I could sleep another couple hours? I just didn't feel good. So that's what those mean. And then I would look back at the night before. What time did I go to bed? And then did I go right off to sleep? Or do I remember tossing and turning? Or was it just like, yeah, I probably, just normal night. I would circle the N. Simple enough there. Don't overthink it. We're just getting a pattern. Sorry. Okay, so now reading. You're going to have on your sheets here, we've got our Dr. Lustig and Mel Robbins. You should have probably received your books by now. If not, if you signed up with me kind of towards the end of the week, they will be here very shortly. I sent you a note about when to expect them. After you've done your reading, then you're going to slash through these. And there are 2 blog posts to read. Let me show you those. So your blog posts are labeled right here. You can click right through with the hyperlink. See how that is there? It goes right to my blog. And then we've got, and then we've got the books. So these are the ones, I may have already sent you the assignments. It depends, again, when you signed up with me. Timing was allow you some time. You can write in these books. These are yours. I've sent them to you. However you do your thing, that's groovy. If you put it in your journal, have a separate page, a separate book for each book, a little, journal pages, whatever it is, just take notes and be engaged in the reading. Okay. It's not not a mystery, not a fiction book or, work of fiction. It's something that's going to help make a huge impact in your life if you embrace it and really do the work. So we've got Dr. Lustig, who I just adore, and Mel Robbins. There are many exercises you can do in here, but there are a minimum in Mel's that I want you to focus on. I've got it laid out here, and they're just directly tied to that wheel of life. You just have to add a fun category in there. All right, and then there's another one on 49, and you'll see they're very self-explanatory. So when you do those, you cross these out, and when you read the blogs, you cross those out. You're going to average your weight for the week, like I mentioned. And again, we're going to put that right here and then put it in our online program and then slash that there, that we did it. Okay, now there's a call on Monday. I've sent you all the information about that. It's Monday at noon Central Time or 1 p.m. Eastern. Those are my 2 time zones that I've got folks enrolled. And you're going to do a food makeover. Let me just explain a little bit about this. You start this. I want you to just eat up the perishables, and that is anything that's open in the fridge or entry, but I'm keeping track of it. So you're going to put whatever that is in here. Okay. Now they are not things in phase 1, but you'll find that's very simple. You click add food and you just type what it may be. Do not let it be one of these, but let me just write Twinkie. Okay. I can't even believe these are in here. But look at a Twinkie. Holy cow. That is a net carb of 50 carbs. But hey, if you want to waste it on that, by all means. I am not encouraging, I'm going to go on record, I'm not encouraging you eating Twinkies. I'm just using this as a ridiculous example, okay? But if that's what you're going to put in there, you're going to add that. And that goes to none of your protein. But look at that. Those net carbs for me, that blew me out of the water. But it will be half of yours because your goal is going to be 100 or less. I wouldn't waste my meal on that or, my stuff on that. But hey, that's fine. If you want to get there is zero judgment in this world with me. I don't have that ingrained in my body. Okay, so back here. But anyway, you're going to go through anything that's open, anything that you can't, technically give away, and have a little fun with it. Like if you've got a bunch of things that you need to go through because they're part opened in the freezer, etc., have a little potluck or do, like mystery meals or whatever it is. Get creative. This week, go through it all because I really don't want you wasting a lot. I think that's, kind of silly. I'm not going to say, all right, get rid of everything and bring all this new stuff in. We're going to start placing the oils, the flours you use, how to do all that. Sweeteners, you're going to start opting for different things. I send all of that to you over the first few weeks so you can just gingerly work your way into it. All right. I'm tough, but I'm not mean, okay? All right, so that is it. So again, keep those carbs at 100 or less. Cool. Now for the accountability, because absolutely every human being on this planet, we need that. I have coaches and I am accountable to them. And sometimes it is incredibly inconvenient, but I do it because I committed to it and I'm committed to me. And through me being committed to me, I am committed to you because that is why I do what I do. All right. So I want you to snap a picture or you could scan it. This weekly AP and AT is your actions planned and actions taken. Cool. Very creative. But I want you after Sunday, after you've noted, okay, these are the days I'm going to do my aerobic. This is how many glasses of water I'm going to do. I plan on doing at least 10 minutes morning and PM. Now, please do that. Now, if you have to start with just doing one of them a day just to get in the habit, I'm okay with that for like a week, maybe a week and a half, okay? But just dive in on that. I swear to you, the mindset part is what has been missing from absolutely every other diet you've tried, because this diet, Dr. Sam does not do a diet. This is changing your very core, your habits. Everything about you is going to become renewed because you're going to get in touch with who you really are, not the facade that we've kind of built over time. That will become more apparent to you as we go along. I also want you to be sure that you're journaling, okay? Whether you're journaling in the morning or the afternoon, again, does not matter to me. Circle one of them so that at least you have the intention, okay? Make sure you put the dates. So the dates would be that Monday date through a Sunday, your name, obviously your name. And then if you're sending this to me, go ahead and slash out the Sunday pre, because then I know you're really engaged in this process. Now the first week or two, there's going to be some fumbling and getting used to how to do this thing. Don't worry about that. Just do your very best, okay? Very, very best. So you're going to fill all that out, and then you're going to email me at this email, member@drsamgraber.com. Now, you received this email from that group, and the reason I have it going to that one is because my clients, I want them number one in my inbox. I get a lot of emails, as I know we probably all do. So I have a very special one for just you guys. I don't get any other email to that. So I know when I get something at member, it's one of my clients that is either, giving me some feedback on something they're doing or has a question or concern. Okay. So you're going to send your plans, the planned actions by the evening of Sunday before the Monday of the week. So whatever this day is, that Sunday before is when you're sending me it. Now you've received it on that Friday before. Okay. So you've been able to plan your week's meals. That's what you're doing on the blank sheet and with the list of meals. Then you can go get the ingredients, go grocery shopping. You can set this up however you want. This is how I do it. I prep and do my batch cooking on Sundays, unless I know Sunday's like a day we're on a volleyball tournament, and I do it Saturday, okay? I will go through more of this with you. Don't get too caught up in these details yet. All right, that is it for you. I love it. So now the week after, the Sunday after all of this, so this day, you're doing your average, you're going to go in and fill out and make sure you've got everything noted that you did, and then you're going to snap another picture or scan that to me on that Sunday evening. All right, and then you're just going to take a moment. How well did I do? I intended on doing this many days of aerobics, or whatever it is. I intended on drinking this much water. Wow, I see I really wasn't able to meet that goal. How can I set myself up this week to meet that goal? That's all it is. This tracking sheet is just a picture of the habits that you're wanting to adopt, sorry. And then just realized here I didn't go over this. So if you've attended the live call on Monday, slash that out. And if you got the recording, slash that out. All right, easy enough. Thank you so much for investing in me as your coach. I have every intention of helping you, and I will help you at the level that you allow me to. What I mean by that is reach out, be fully engaged in this. Try to problem solve before you reach out. It's because I want to teach you how to do this. Okay, I'm not interested in being one of those people that's like got all these folks that are constantly having to ask them, what do I do here? What do I do there? How do I do this? I want you to embrace this entire program, and I want to teach you how to do this for yourself after our time together. That is my bottom line intention. Yes, sure, we can definitely continue some coaching. We can do the periodic check-in. I'll have different programs available depending how much deeper you want to get into the mindset and life coaching. But for now, I want you to really focus on this 12 weeks together. Dive in 100% each and every week, and you will absolutely have an entire new tool chest for you. Alrighty, take care. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I will look forward to hearing you and seeing your shiny face on our call on Monday. Bye-bye.